Bill Flash, Frank Isola, Bomani Jones. Great to have you guys here. Hero Ball. Let's go around that horn. Rookies to have more than 30 points in a conference final game. Are you ready for the list? It's a list.
There you go.
Larry Bird, Daniel Gibson, Earl Tatum, Andrew Toney.
Earl Tatum.
And now
Underrated.
Tyler Herro with the most points by a rookie in a conference final game. Jimmy Butler closes, but Tyler Herro is open all night. And for the Celtics, with Tatum so inconsistent, actually the whole team so inconsistent, Frank Isola, is this series really being decided by a rookie?
Well, it was last night. I got to give Jimmy Butler credit because he allows Tyler Herro to be the guy. It's not like Jimmy Butler feels, well, I'm the big free agent. I need to shoot 30 times a game. But the stat that I love, that's the most points by a 20-year-old since Magic Johnson in 1980 had 42 in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. That's a little bit different.
Okay.
That's the finals. It's on the road. This is in a controlled environment. But come on now. When you look at how composed he is, how confident he is, he acts like he's the best player on the court. And guess what? Last night, he absolutely was the best player.
He wasn't first-team All-NBA rookie. He was second-team. I think he missed it by one vote. Where'd you have him, by the way, Frank?
I voted him second team.
You voted him second.
Remember, March 11th was the cutoff date. March 11th
Well, okay.
was the cutoff.
Do you believe he's a different player right now?
100%. And I think that's spending a full year in the Miami organization. They do a great job there. He's outstanding. And for the 13th pick of the draft, good job by Pat Riley.
Were we rolling tape on that? You just praised the Miami Heat culture. I want to make sure I have that. I want to make sure the reporters in Miami heard you say that. Bill Plaschke, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just last night. He scored 59 points in the last 72 minutes.
Yeah.
He has double digits in 10 straight games for a rookie. I think he's in a great position. He can get his own shot, but he's also surrounded by very smart players. Butler, Dragic, Bam. They all enable him and empower him. Yeah, I mean, he's only 20, but he's really come up. This is his coming out party, and it's for real. It's not just a flash in the pan.
Bomani Jones.
Yo, he's not scared. Like, that was the biggest thing and the most striking thing. Even if he wasn't making all of those shots, it was the confidence that he had to take them. And Frank pointed out where it's important. Jimmy Butler couldn't buy a bucket. He struggled with that through the course of this series. Having Tyler Herro being there to be a guy who can make shots on a team that really leans on Butler's the only other guy that's been like, yo, go get us a bucket if we need a bucket. He's the guy. If Herro can pick up that slack and they have that dude, then yeah, he is the guy that winds up deciding this series because otherwise it's pretty even.
What's changed in his games from what you saw earlier in the season, Bomani, to who he is now?
I really think the biggest thing is he started at 19 and now he's 20. Like, we have to remember that where we are in the calendar is what it would be like to start your second year in the NBA. Like, guys basically got an offseason. He's a rookie, but he is in his absolute second year by any other metric.
Yes, he reappeared in the second half. Had a great second half. But can we talk about the disappearance of Jason Tatum? What is that about, Bomani Jones? Can you explain it?
I've been trying to figure that out the exact same way, especially after he comes back and has 28 in the second half. Like, the thing about being Jason Tatum at this point is we're past the point of thinking about him as being a young, emerging star. And the conference finals this year is not what it was in 2018. You can't disappear in the first half in the way that he wound up doing. And you had to think it was almost mental because the shots he was missing, it wasn't like they were going in and out. They weren't even close in some cases.
Frank Isola?
Yeah, and Jeff Van Gundy was talking about on the telecast. He didn't look like he had the explosiveness that he had in previous games. You know, it's funny about the Celtics. You know, previous years, it's been easy to blame everything on Kyrie Irving. They're not going to be able to do that. And there's just something about this team. You look at Miami, coaches always say they're pulling in the same direction. Look at what happened to Boston last night when they finally took the lead in the fourth quarter. That next possession, offensive rebound, basket, Bam Adebayo. They come down, they turn the ball over. Miami gets another offensive rebound, a three-pointer by Tyler Herro. The Miami Heat have made winning plays, so it's not just about the scoring for Jason Tatum. They turn the ball over way too much. They don't make winning plays.
And it's almost like that's how they buttered their bread all season long. That's the team they are, but they're looking in the mirror now and they're saying Miami just does it more. Bill Plaschke on Tatum's struggle.
What puzzled me was after the game, he said he wasn't aggressive enough. That was his direct quote. How can you not be aggressive enough? How can you not know the moment and the stage and the bright lights are ahead of you? Now, maybe some of it was Jay Crowder. He's 2 for 11 against Crowder. But again, you know, I think Crowder got into his head and got him out of his game. But there's no excuse to go 0 for 6, to only take 6 shots and not go to the rim and not go to the. I was And I think this is, if he wants to be the guy who carries the Celtics, if he wants to be their crunch time player, he's got to step up.
It is mystifying, especially when you put it all together in the second half. You see it's all there. I mean, you need a full game from him if you're the Boston Celtics right now. Strange things have happened in this bubble, Frank. We've seen double-digit leads get blown away. I mean, like every game has runs where double-digit leads are blown. We've seen 3-1 comebacks. We're in a position now where this series, the total point total, I believe, is 441 to 441. That's how even the series is. But Miami's got the commanding lead. How should Boston feel with their back now against the wall?
I think it's going to be very difficult. Miami's 11-2, Tony, since the playoffs began. I just don't see them losing 3 games. They just seem to be playing at such a high level. Everybody on that team has confidence, and I got to give Jimmy Butler all the credit. You know, Bomani mentioned it before. This is a guy, he can kind of go through the game and not score. Yet in the fourth quarter, he's getting rebounds, he's getting deflections, he's stealing the ball. He makes winning plays even when he's not the high scorer out there.
Bomani?
One thing about this, though, that we noticed, like I got out of that Game 3 win, is Boston can beat Miami by 20. Miami can't beat Boston by 20. Now, that might not matter because Miami only needs one more. But Boston's ceiling, I do believe, is higher, and they do still have a chance to win this series.
And Bill Plaschke?
No, I don't think they have any chance. I'll say it's over, and it's because Boston, you need a certain mental toughness to overcome the obstacles and the hurdles that they've created for themselves. And when your star player is saying he wasn't aggressive enough, you got to wonder who's holding him accountable in that locker room, who's how they are moving forward. Don't like the way that team looks.
Speaking of mental toughness, Lakers Nuggets tonight. Is that a tremble I see in your goatee, Bill Plaschke? Talk to me about this, Bill. I read this in the LA Times, your paper, Broderick Turner. The Lakers question the league to look at how LeBron is being officiated, that he's not getting to the free throw line enough, that he had just 2 free throws last game. They think Denver's been more physical with him than that. You were just talking about a team worried about priorities not in the right place. Well, I'm going to ask you whether the Lakers' priorities are in the right place. Is there something there, Bill, as we head into Game 4 tonight?
Oh, yeah, there's something there. And this is old school Laker, old school Phil Jackson. Put a little bug in the referee's ear. LeBron will shoot 20 free throws tonight. The game will take 3 hours. It happens all the time. And if something is wrong, LeBron has shot 10 free throws in this series. He shot 9 free throws a game against Portland. He gets fouled every time in there. He's almost like Shaq back in the day when he gets fouled or fouls somebody. You can call it all the time. The referees, it's up to their discretion. But I think clearly they have taken him for granted and taken his physicality for granted. And now that there's been a little bug put in their ear, I think it'll change. I think the Lakers were smart. Vogel was very, very smart to do this.
You think this is smart? You think this is a little bug in the ear to talk to the league in between games? Because you know LeBron is talking to the officials every minute of every game, telling this as well. It's not like it's what? Where did this come from? We had no idea. No one's saying that. Frank Isola, how do you hear the Lakers asking the question of the league in between games? Maybe LeBron's getting more, should be on the free throw line more.
Yeah, and remember the way the policy works. If you complain to the league then notifies the other team about a complaint that's been issued by the Lakers.
And that's
so the
why
Nuggets know about it.
Yeah.
They want Brad Turner to know about it. They want Brad to write a story. They want the media to talk about it. They want the Denver Nuggets to be talking about it. They want it to be an issue. And Bill is 100% right. This is right out of the Phil Jackson playbook. It's not even really so much for the referees and for LeBron James. They want the Nuggets feeling like, you guys won the other night. You were lucky you won because LeBron wasn't getting treated fairly. And we came back from 20 down. We cut it to 3. You're lucky that you got this one win. It's all about mind games right now.
Is LeBron being treated unfairly, Frank?
Oh, come on. He's one of the most physical players out there. He's very difficult to officiate. I will say that, much like Shaquille O'Neal, because he's so darn strong. When you wrap him up, he can still break through the contact and score at the rim. So he does take hard fouls, but it's not about that. This is about just getting it into the heads of the Nuggets that you won a game only because LeBron wasn't getting the proper whistle.
Well, Monty, is LeBron being treated unfairly here?
You're going to expect me to believe that it's going to be 3 straight games in a row and you're going to have 3 sets of referees doing LeBron wrong? That after all this time in the league that you're going to find
no
3
way.
sets of people to do LeBron wrong? Come on. Now, this tells me that they are taking the threat of the Denver Nuggets very seriously. Like, this could be very easily a 2-1 series going in the other direction, but it exacerbates or it outlines something that's very important, which is if the Lakers are going to win this, it's going to be about their top 2. If the Nuggets are going to win this, it's going to be about their depth. And they got to make one of their top 2 better. And how are they going to do that? Trying to get LeBron to the free throw line more.
Right. I mean, Plashke, we talked about this in advance of the series, but if Jokic and Murray are even in the same universe as James and Davis, that's an enormous advantage for Denver. And now, since they won the last game, are they in position to pull off another, I'm not going to call it an upset. Is Denver in position to win tonight as well?
Of the 4 big stars in this series, LeBron scores the least amount of points so far. LeBron's going to go off tonight. He's going to go off Saturday night. They're going to finish low. Lakers win 2 more. They finish this off 4-1.
Okay. Frank Isola, I know Plashke is positive that this series is going Los Angeles' way, but clearly Denver won the last game. It could have won the game before that. Are they in position to win tonight?
You know what? I think the Denver Nuggets could absolutely take one more game. I would advise them to win tonight. You're not going to come back from 3-1 down against the Lakers. And one thing that would concern me about the Lakers, Anthony Davis, 2 rebounds in the last game. If you look at Davis, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma, that's about, 28 feet of player right there. They had a total of 5 rebounds. That's a bit of a concern.
Bomani Jones.
Hey, Frank, you care about mental toughness. The Lakers' mental toughness, we still got to figure that one out. It's not their fault that they haven't been tested, but Denver's is certified. We know that.
Right.
I don't think the Lakers are going to walk over them. Like, they might still win the series, but I think this is going to go at least 6.
Oh, you guys, no faith. Come on, LeBron.
What do you mean, no
Don't
faith?
you believe LeBron for all these years?
I don't
Faith
live
is
in
good,
Los Angeles.
but it's not a strategy, Bill Plashke. I believe we said that before on this show. What did Isola say? I would advise Denver to win tonight. Are you trying to get hourly rates on the back end here? Like, yeah, I came in for a consult. I advise them to win.
Do not fall behind 3-1 to LeBron. It's not going to be good.
We're taking a break. Buy or sell is next. The Stamkos game. Next. Dolphins-Jaguars Thursday Night Football. Fitzmagic Minshew magic.
Woohoo!
Is how you sell the game if you're in the mood for those dark arts. Whether tonight could or should be the night Tua makes his debut for Miami is a question. You got to think maybe they played that into the scheduling at the end of training camp. Though, Tagovailoa said he didn't take a hit all camp. And the last time he was hit was the play he got hurt on at Alabama 10 months ago. Bomani, what does it sound like to you Miami's got in mind for Tua?
I mean, I would imagine that they're not going to play him until they absolutely have to. They prefer to get him out there with as little pressure as possible. I don't take too much out of the idea he hasn't been hit in camp because, I mean, they got that different colored jersey on specifically so quarterbacks don't get hit in camp. If he had been hit in camp, somebody should have been fired for malpractice. But I think that they're waiting until they don't have any other choice but to put him out there, whether that be Fitzpatrick being too terrible or Fitzpatrick getting hurt.
Plashke?
They're 0-2. Put him out there now. What are they waiting for? Bomani's right. He's not going to get hit in camp anyway. You see what Burrow's done. You see what Justin Herbert's done. The rookie quarterbacks are they've had all summer to train and learn these systems. Chan Gailey, new system. I think he's learned it. He's taken first team reps in practice. They're going nowhere. They're on national TV. Why not put him in there now?
Frank Isola?
Bill, we spent all of last year telling Brian Flores what he should do. He should lose games because that's how you build a winning program, is by losing games. I think Brian Flores, wait for it, Tony, Brooklyn-born Brian Flores is doing the right thing. As a fan, I want to see Tua out there. Well, let's remember, Aaron Rodgers didn't start right away. Even the great one, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't start right away. I think they know what they're doing. He'll be out there soon enough.
But did it give you any pause that he hadn't been hit since that last tackle when he was at Alabama? That kind of surprised me. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but not once in training camp that kind of surprised me.
Well, I think kind of the training wheels are on him, number one. Number two, there were no preseason games. And Bomani's right. They don't want you hitting the quarterback in practice. That's why they do wear the different
Good point.
jersey.
You're right. Fitzpatrick or Minshew, who you got tonight? Bomani?
Oh, man, in the Pablo Torre Bowl, I am going to go with Fitzpatrick.
Plashke?
How can you go with Fitzpatrick? The Dolphins, the secondary, allowed more than 400 passing yards to Josh Allen last week. Minshew's going to have a field day tonight.
Jacksonville tonight.
1,000 yards.
You're starting him on your fantasy team. That's good to know. And how about you, Isola?
Nah, I hate agreeing with Bill, but he's right about this one, Jacksonville.
Lightning 5 stars 2. That's buy or sell 2. The Stamkos game. This was awesome. To go from not playing for 7 months to scoring on your first shot and then going right out of the game in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Wow. The first line of Tampa took care of the rest. Palat, Kucherov, and Point. All-time production in a postseason. From then, Frank, does winning a pivotal Game 3 when your superstar sweeps in from another dimension to score give you an added boost for the series?
That's a huge emotional lift. What a great story that is. Steven Stamkos, former #1 overall pick in 2008. He comes in there after not playing for 211 days, scores. He sat the second and third period. Tampa Bay's always been the best team. Now they're in control.
That was my favorite part, that he sat he did what he had to do and got out of there in 2.5 minutes. Bomani?
All right, I'm not too big on the touchy-feelies in this way. However, it's kind of hard to, separate this from, a Kirk Gibson type of situation or a Willis Reed type situation where it absolutely did look like something like that gave a boost. And with Kirk Gibson, it powered that not very good team all the way to a championship.
Bill Plaschke.
Well, don't go saying Kirk Gibson now. Come on, that's in a class all its own, Bomani. Come on, you know better than that.
What?
But this was cool. But
goal.
I think what even means even more is the Lightning have outshot them 99-73. They have a better goalie. They have a better defenseman, Hedman. Vasilevsky's a goalie. Kucherov. The Lightning have a better team.
Right, now it puts
I think that's the
questions
main
in
thing.
Dallas's head. Should Bishop be in goal in the next game? I mean, there's a lot at play here. We'll move on. Buy or sell 3. Keith Smith, Yahoo. Starting to hear a lot of buzz that the 76ers are letting teams know they're open to trade talks if they hire Mike D'Antoni to be their next head coach. And John Clark, NBC in Philadelphia. I'm hearing one of the reasons Sixers have a lot of interest in D'Antoni is feeling that he could help lure James Harden to Philly. Bill Plaschke, buy or sell?
Totally selling this. You're going to tear up a program for Mike D'Antoni? What has he ever won? Why does everybody still believe this guy can do some kind of a magic? He's never been to the NBA Finals. Ty Lue is the coach for that team. And I think Ty Lue can get those two guys to play together. He's done it before in Cleveland. I think he can work. Mike D'Antoni's not a good idea, not a good fit.
Frank Isola?
Well, Ty Lue's going to get a job. But the one thing about Mike D'Antoni, let's remember, Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. James Harden was an MVP. They believe he can do the same for Ben Simmons. But to Bill's point, I'll trade you Al Horford. I'll trade you Tobias Harris. Not yet am I trading you Embiid or Ben Simmons. I'm keeping both of them.
Bomani Jones.
I mean, D'Antoni's a very good coach. We can't ignore that part. It just so happens one of the guys that they have is a big man and the other one they can't shoot. Those are not things that work so well with Mike D'Antoni. So, I mean, they need to be open to trades with those dudes no matter who the head coach happens to be. If it happens to be him, if you want to blame it on him, that's fine. But they're going to need to move 1 or 2 of those guys.
But anything about Harden, that D'Antoni could lure Harden, and that the Sixers would be better off breaking up Embiid and Simmons to inquiring Harden. Frank, you could address that first.
Well, I think you have to convince Daryl Morey to want to trade James Harden. So I'm not so sure that that's going to happen. It might be worth a try, but I think it's going to be Ben Simmons, it's going to be Embiid, and I do think D'Antoni's going to be the coach there.
Plaschke, I'll offer that question to you. You need about 6 great points to make it work.
No, it's not going to work. Harden is not going to be traded. They're not going to get rid of him. Embiid and Simmons, they can do it together there. They can win there. They need the right coach. They need the right system, and it's not D'Antoni.
Whoa.
You need the right system.
That's
And
6 points?
say,
That's 6
Plaschke,
points?
it's not you. No. This is a touchy-feely story for Bomani Jones, which now he loves to appreciate, and Frank Isola. Showdown next. Frank Isola in Showdown. Give me that. That's what Trevor Bauer posted after 8 innings, 1 run on short day's rest. Look at the standings and this magnificent heap in the National League of teams. Reds stayed steady at the 8th seed. Frank, with the gimme that, Bauer's talking about the Cy Young. Was that a Cy Young-worthy start? Has he been Cy Young-worthy for his 2-month season here?
It kind of reminds me of that year when CeCe was in Milwaukee and they were pitching him on 3 days rest to try to get into the playoffs. Absolutely, that's a great start. Yeah. It's weird giving out awards for 60 games, but he absolutely, right now to me, is in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but again, the dude has had, 11 starts this season, and we're really talking about somebody being the Cy Young. Maybe he wins it, maybe he does not. I'm not going to be able to care about how it goes with this small a sample. It'd be great.
So you don't believe they should be giving out awards?
I mean,
what
I
about
understand
the
them giving them out.
touchy-feely
I mean,
Bomani Jones? What happened? This is a
Yeah, come on.
They can give them
Have some
out. I
fun.
ain't got to
Participation award.
Bauer has had an incredible year. He really has. He's talked the talk, and now he's give me that. That's what he said. Points, Frank Isola. We'll give him that. Showdown 2. I got to go back to the standings here. I mean, the American League, look at these standings. A glorious mess of teams. Rays clinched the East yesterday. A's long since clinched the West. Minnesota moved ahead of the White Sox, who've dropped 4 straight and fallen to the 4th seed. Now they're looking at the Yankees. Bomani, who's the most dangerous team in this mess?
Look, even with those losses, I got to go with the team with the best run differential in the postseason, and that is going to be the White Sox, the best scoring team in the American League thus far. And they got my man Tim Anderson. That's that good kind of danger right there.
Frank Isola?
I want it to be the A's because the Raiders left. The Warriors went to San Francisco. And last night, Tampa Bay, by the way, they clinched in New York, but it was at Citi Field. But come on, Tony, it's the team up in the Bronx. If they're healthy, that's the team to beat.
It's amazing. White Sox, with this losing streak, now match up against the Yankees in the first series, right?
Yeah.
Point, Frank Isola. FaceTime goes to Francis Albert Isola.
Wow. Well, as we all know, the coronavirus can impact a lot of people, even the legendary one himself, who once spent time in L.A., and I'm not talking about our good friend Bill Plaschke, and it's so great to see him. I'm talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who left L.A. and is now in Italy, of all places, playing for AC Milan. He revealed that he, too, has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. And, of course, Zlatan took it in stride, as you might imagine. He said, "Corona tried to challenge me. Bad idea." So get well soon, Zlatan.
Yeah. Zlatan doesn't have COVID. COVID has Zlatan. All right, Bomani Jones. You know, I was a little tough on the scoring there. You got 10 seconds if you want to give us a short version of your FaceTime.
All right, long and short, this dude, Jay Garcia, had committed to USC. He moved to Valdosta, Georgia to play high school football because Georgia's still playing. His parents got legally separated so that he could fit under the rules. And all I'm saying is, be careful, Mr. Garcia. You signed up for this.
And, Bill, you get nothing. Goodbye, everybody.